What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track back with another video. You know what time it is. It's that time of the week. It is the best bets and drivers to watch for this weekend at the Coke 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The first of two trips to Charlotte, but the only time we'll be running the oval. The other time will be the Charlotte Roval, which is also a great event. But the Coke 600, super excited for this week. Look, I'm not the biggest Coke 600 guy, but I know what this race is. I know it's a crown jewel. I know why so many people tune in to watch it. The grandstands, I just heard, are full. There's like standing room only seats still available. But it seems like it's going to be a great crowd as always. And it should be a great event. We're coming off a tough race at Texas Motor Speedway. So hopefully the 600 can put us back on track with some good hard racing. I sure hope so. But yeah, it's tough to watch 600 miles of something, especially when it's a mile and a half track, and with the last generation car, it got boring at points, definitely. But new next gen car, we know the races so far besides Texas, the mile and a halves have delivered. So I think in that case we should be optimistic and hope to see a good race. So before we get into the bets and drivers to watch for, give us a follow on Twitter at JOTT_podcast. That's at JOT_podcast. That you can check out all my tweets, what I'm thinking. I live tweet races. I always tweet my winner pick, my flop pick, and then a dark horse pick. So if you watch this video, a lot of those picks I put on the Twitter, but I also like to throw in a dark horse that maybe I don't always put on here. And also in these videos, I kind of just give an overview of who I'm looking for. But when you watch and you tune in to me on Twitter, we will be closer to the race. So I will have seen practice, I will have seen qualifying, and I can make a better, judgment call on who I actually think is going to win this race. But I always have good ideas of who I think those guys are. So without further ado, let's get into it this week. So if we look back to last year's 600, 400 laps, 4 stages, which is a little different. This is a race of patience. It always has been. It is a race of patience. It is a race of survival. It is a long race. You are never out of the Coke 600. If you have early troubles, that really doesn't matter. I think Goodyear will play a big part in this. Guys, we saw what happened at Texas when the leaders had the clean air. It looked like all was going well, but they stayed out. And a tire blew and they wrecked. I think the tires are going to play a big role in this week's race. I assume track conditions will be pretty hot down in Charlotte. I know it starts later, but that doesn't matter. The All-Star race started later. The track was hot. I assume the same for Charlotte. So tires are going to play a big role here. So we got to watch for that. If we go back to last year, Hendrick dominated this race. Top 4 out of there are 4 drivers in the top 5. It went Larson. Hold on one sec. Just want to get this right. So yeah, it went Larson finished first, Elliott finished second, Kyle Busch finished third to break up the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Byron fourth, Bowman fifth. Other guys that had good runs, Austin Dillon, who's a Coke 600 winner, finished 6th. Chris Buescher finished 8th. Reddick finished 9th. So both RCR cars did well. Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick rounded out the top 10. So also Stenhouse qualified well and actually finished 12th, got some stage points. So with that, I found it interesting. So I was looking into a lot of the stats, digging deep this year. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting is only one time this year has a team won back-to-back races, and that was way back at the beginning with Auto Club in Vegas. So every other race, Penske just won at the All-Star race, another team seems like they're going to win this week, and that's just, if you're going by the numbers, that is what's happened. I don't like to play that kind of luck, sort of like, oh, it's just kind of luck. It just seems like each week a different team is winning. Well, that's just, I feel like, how this season has been. And in this case, I think we should look at something like that, because I think it's important that it seems like no team has really been able to find that momentum, find that consistency. Teams have run well, don't get me wrong, but in terms of winning, we've been all over the place in terms of teams. So I think that's something we should watch for. Another thing we should watch for, there's only 2 active drivers to win multiple 600s. That's Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex Jr. So to me, in that case, I'm not looking at a guy that's already won this race. I'm looking at a new winner, a new Coca-Cola 600 winner. Sure, if you want to look at Larson, the favorite, go ahead. I think he's going to do well. Kyle Busch, he's won here a couple years back. I think you should look at him. He had a good run last year. He's had speed this year, was having a great run, probably should have won the All-Star race, but we saw him blow that tire. So I think, if you want to look at him, that's fine. But I'm going to give you 5 names that I think you should definitely watch for. The first is William Byron. William Byron, I think, has had a very, very good season. He is a patient driver. He doesn't really cause a lot of wrecks. So to me, he's a guy, he's going to have speed. He's patient. He's very technical, if you will. So I think you look at William Byron. I think right now, to me, he is my favorite to win this thing. I know I keep saying this guy's name, but Christopher Bell has had so much speed this year, especially at these sort of tracks. The luck just hasn't, he hasn't put it all together. The luck hasn't gone his way. But I think he's another guy. I expect him to qualify well. And I expect him to be there at this race when it counts. And I think he can get it done this week. I really do. There's only really, to me, in the regular season, a couple more tracks that I could see Christopher Bell winning. I know he's won a road course in the past. He's a decent road course racer. I don't know if I see him winning a road course. I think this year it's going to come at a 1.5 mile track, and I think Charlotte is the place where he can do it. Another name I'm going to throw out is Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace has had good runs here. Most recently last year, he had a pretty good run. 23:11 seems to have found some speed. And we know the pit troubles that Bubba has had this season. If they can just get that under control, I think he's a guy that should easily get a top 10. I think you can stretch to go top 5, top 3. 23:11, like I said, has found speed. And this is a track that Bubba Wallace is pretty good at. So I would look at Bubba to have a good run and possibly pull an upset here. Another guy, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's had a ton of speed recently, just most recently winning the Open. So Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had a really good run here last year. I know I said you're looking for a patient driver, and Ricky is more of an aggressive driver. But to be honest with you, I think this year he's shown some maturity in the way he's racing. I feel like he has been patient. Now, at super speedways, that's another whole, question mark. But I think in this case, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the Coke 600, remember kind of when Austin Dillon shocked the world and won this thing. Why can't Ricky Stenhouse Jr. do that? He's got a second place. He's got some consecutive top 10s brewing. I would look at Ricky Stenhouse. I think this is where he can get a good win and lock himself into the playoffs. And then the last guy is, and I know I said that I don't see teams winning back-to-back races. Maybe you could put a wild card to that to be points races, back-to-back points races. And the reason I say that is because Penske showed a lot of speed last week with Austin Cindric, with Joey Logano. and Ryan Blaney. I do not think Ryan Blaney is going to win this race. I know for a fact Austin Cindric is not going to win this race. But Joey Logano has yet to win a 600, and he's had an up and down season. And he's been, I wouldn't say he's been as consistent as he would like, but he had the win at Darlington. And now I look at Joey and I say to myself, can he get his first 600 here? It seems like Penske's starting to put things together here. Can he do it? I think he can. Again, I don't want to go the route of breaking this streak, if you will, that we haven't seen a back-to-back team. But I think if there is an exception to be made, you could say, sure, it was a back-to-back. Penske won All-Star and the 600, but it wasn't a points race. The All-Star wasn't a points race, so it didn't really count. But I'm ranking these guys. I'm going to go William Byron 1. I'm going to actually probably put Logano 2, Christopher Bell 3, and then Stenhouse and Wallace I would put 4, 5, however you want to put those guys. I know these names, you're probably thinking, hey, where's the Chase Elliott? Where's the Kyle Larson? Where's the Kyle Busch? I totally get if you guys want to put some stuff on those guys. I think Hendrick overall is going to have a good day, but I'm looking at, I just feel like with this season, the way this season has gone, the 600 is going to be spicy. I think we're going to see something different. I think we're going to see a Stenhouse maybe pull this thing off. Maybe a Christopher Bell gets in the playoff picture. Maybe Bubba Wallace steals this thing. And then if you're looking for the go-tos, the William Byron and the Joey Logano pick. Those are my 5 guys that I am watching for. I think Christopher Bell and William Byron are going to have a good chance at the pole. I think you should put some money on both those guys to win the pole. Stenhouse actually qualified second last year. So who knows? Maybe he could get the pole. But again, I'll put him one more time, put him out there. William Byron, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace, and Joey Logano are the drivers to watch for at the Coke 600 this weekend in Charlotte. Should be a great crowd. Should be a pretty good race. I hope so. But I want to hear what you guys think. Always put your stuff in the comments. Let me know who you're looking at this week. And if you're going to be attending the race, I've already heard from some people that they're going. So if you guys are going, please put that in the comments. I always love to hear who's going to the race and what you guys think of that. So awesome. All right. Thank you guys. Make sure you give this a like and subscribe for more content.